Stop spraying ants. Every bottle you empty is quietly multiplying the exact problem you are trying to kill, and the pest control industry is betting their entire business on you never connecting those dots. But there is a 2-ingredient bait that dismantles an entire ant colony from the queen down. It costs less than a cup of coffee, and it has been sitting on a grocery store shelf the whole time you have been losing this fight. Here is exactly how it works. Before we dive in, if you're tired of wasting money on sprays, traps, and treatments that never seem to solve the problem for good, subscribe now. We are building a community of homeowners and homesteading enthusiasts who are done being treated like a recurring monthly invoice. I do not want you to miss a single video. Now let's get into this. Here is what's actually happening every time you reach for that spray bottle. You see a trail crawling across your counter, you spray, the ants drop, and your brain tells you the job is done. What you actually did was hit the panic button on the whole colony. The survivor ants read that chemical hit as an attack, scatter in every direction, and start splitting into new satellite nests behind your baseboards, inside your walls, under your floorboards. This is called colony budding, and within 2 or 3 days, you have traded one trail for 3. And here is the thing that really gets me. The spray companies did not miss this. They know exactly what a sudden chemical blast does to a colony. A product that fractures your problem and sends you back to the store every other week is not a failure to them. That is the business model working perfectly. A spray that solved your problem in one shot would put them out of business, and nobody designs a product to do that to themselves. But here is where it gets worse, and this is the part almost nobody ever finds out. Every colony you are fighting has one true target, and you have never once touched her: the queen. She sits buried deep underground or sealed inside your wall void, sometimes several feet from anything you can reach, and she does exactly one job. She lays eggs, hundreds a day, every single day, for years. You can wipe out every worker ant you see on that counter, and it means nothing, because she will replace every one of them by the weekend. The worker ants are disposable to her. They are just legs and mouths sent out to feed the nest. Kill the legs, and the body keeps making more. So the only way to win this is to reach the queen herself, and you are never going to spray your way down to her. But before I show you exactly how, there is one mistake almost every homeowner makes the first time they try this, and it makes the entire method completely worthless. I will show you that mistake in just a minute. First, let me show you what you need. Go to any grocery store and grab a box of borax. You will find it in the laundry aisle, sitting right next to the detergents in a plain box that has barely changed in a century. It is a natural mineral, and American families were using it to keep their homes clean and pest-free for over 100 years before anyone was selling annual extermination contracts. Then grab a bag of powdered sugar, and that concludes the entire shopping list. 2 ingredients, both of which a lot of you already have in the house right now. Mix 1 part borax with 3 parts powdered sugar. So 1 teaspoon of borax gets stirred into 3 teaspoons of powdered sugar. Stir until it is one even blend with no clumps. That is your bait. That is the whole thing. Now here is why those 2 ingredients are so dangerous to a colony. Think of this bait as a Trojan horse. The powdered sugar is the lure. Ants are hardwired to hunt sweet food and haul it straight back home, so the sugar gets them to pick it up and carry it without a second thought. The borax is the weapon hiding inside the sugar, and here is what makes this nothing like any spray you have ever held. Borax does not kill on contact. It works slowly, over a full 24 to 48 hours. That delay is not a flaw, it is the entire point. The forager that eats your bait does not die at the station. It walks all the way home, shares that food mouth to mouth with other workers, feeds it to the larvae, and the food chain carries it right up to the queen herself. The poison rides the colony's own feeding system straight to the throne. Then the whole nest collapses from the inside out. Now here is that mistake I promised you, and this one is critical, so do not skip past this. Most people dump in way too much borax. They figure more poison means a faster kill. It is the opposite. Crank the borax too high, and the ants taste that something is wrong, and they will walk right past your bait like it is invisible. 3 parts sugar to 1 part borax. That is the ratio. Sweet enough to be irresistible, weak enough that they carry it all the way home before anything happens. Get that wrong, and you will sit there for a week wondering why the trail keeps ignoring your perfect little bait pile. Now, once your mixture is ready, here is exactly how to set it up, and there is a right way and a wrong way. Grab a few bottle caps, jar lids, or small squares of cardboard. Anything flat and shallow works. Drop about a teaspoon of bait on each one. Place these stations directly on the ant highways. Run your eye along the baseboards, under the kitchen sink, around window frames and door thresholds, along the edge of the patio outside. You are setting your trap right on the road they already travel, so they find it on their own. Now here is the second mistake that destroys this entire method, and I watch homeowners do it every single time. Do not spray anything near those stations. I know how hard it is to stand there and watch ants stroll across your kitchen without grabbing the spray bottle. But the second you spray near that bait, you scatter the colony, break the trail, and your station sits there untouched while the nest rebuilds somewhere new. That trail crawling across your floor is not your enemy right now. That trail is your delivery system, a conveyor belt running poison straight to the queen. Leave it alone and let it run. Now, if you have pets or kids in the house, I know exactly what you are thinking, and this next part matters, so stay with me. Borax is not some harsh industrial chemical. It is a naturally occurring mineral that has been sitting in laundry rooms for generations, long before anyone convinced you that you needed a technician in a truck and a yearly contract. The amount in this bait is tiny. A dog or a cat would have to eat a very large pile of raw borax powder to have any real reaction, and the trace amount in a teaspoon of sweetened bait is nowhere near that. Still, be smart about it. Tuck your stations where ants can reach them, but little hands and curious noses cannot. Under appliances, behind the refrigerator, inside the back of a low cabinet, tight against the baseboard behind furniture, out of reach, on the trail. That is all it takes. Now here is the part that catches almost everyone off guard the first time. When you set out those stations, you are going to see more ants, not fewer, a lot more. They will swarm that bait, and your gut is going to scream that you made it worse. Most people panic right here, sweep up the stations, and grab the spray, and that is the single worst thing you can do at this stage. More ants on the bait means more couriers loading up poison and marching it back to the queen. That surge is not the method failing. That surge is the method working out in the open. Do not touch it. Do not move it. Do not spray. Within 3 to 5 days, you will see the traffic start thinning out. Within 2 weeks, in most cases, the colony is gone and those trails have vanished completely. This method hits hardest on the most common household ants in American homes, including odorous house ants, pavement ants, little black ants, and Argentine ants. For fire ants, it still works. It just takes longer, because those colonies run deeper and far bigger than the average kitchen invader. And if you are seeing ants pouring out of several spots in your walls at once, the bait will still do the job, but the timeline stretches out, and pairing it with a single professional inspection to pinpoint the main nest will get you there faster. Now, 2 honest things before you go. First, borax bait has been documented in pest management literature for decades. It is cheap, it is effective, and it goes after the actual source instead of the symptom you can see. The only reason most homeowners have never tried it comes down to one cold fact. A $2 fix that ends the problem for good does not create repeat customers. A spray bottle that drags you back to the hardware store every 2 weeks does. And that is exactly the cycle they want to protect. Second, Patience is not optional with this. Think about how many summers you have burned on the same ant problem. The same sprays, the same service calls, the same temporary results that fail by the next heat wave. That loop was never going to break on its own because nobody on the other side of the register had any reason to break it for you. Now you have the real answer. 2 grocery store ingredients, the 3-to-1 ratio, the trail left alone, and a little patience. That is genuinely all it takes to end a problem that has been quietly costing homeowners a few $100s a year.